Hey y'all, this is Port 1119 with Head Frame Hunters. We're here in Grant County, New Mexico at the Carlisle Mine. It's primarily a gold-silver mine. Worked from around the turn of the century with a little bit of work here done as recently as the 1990s. I'm told it was a lensatic ore body rather than more conventional vein structure. You can see through the surface there. Got a crown pillar. Got a large stope that ways, and the water line. So reportedly, Carlisle has about 7 levels going down 700 feet, but it's not going to be much accessible anymore. There was an entry into that stope, so we'll check that out next. So now coming into additional workings here. Part of a roof bolt. And then there's that decline we were in. So that decline is rumored to date to the 40s, about the same time that the large pit outside was shot. This looks like it was backfilled. Back is overall fairly good, with the exception of that slab. And again, looking up into this vein, which is probably 12 feet wide. In places, it can apparently grade up to 5% copper per ton. I'm going to move down here. This drift is backfilled and terminates. Looking back to the surface. I'm going to come back out, take a look at what's going on out there. So coming into the copper stope, it appears to continue further in. So the vein peters out, and they were following it along this drift. There's a decent bit of foot traffic in here. Found a campfire. I think some teenagers have been partying back in the Carlisle. Continues. Vein moves that way. And this is looking back to the decline. So I just dropped down here. So once again, we're in line with that decline. There's a small borehole runs down into the flooded decline. See, there's some timbering in there.
Those of these working, you got a lot of slusher eyeballs.
I have.
So that kind of gives us an idea when they were working it. I'm good. I had a bad experience.
Found a length of safety fuse here. This stope reminds me quite a bit of level 1, level 0 of the Carlisle Mine. So you can only punch through to the surface. This is a false floor here, and appears that the workings terminate about 40 feet ahead of me. Probably head topside after this. And looking into the ceiling, see working platforms in the stopes up there. It goes up probably 60 feet. And it's looking back to where we came from. It's a slusher eye bolt up in the back to run a slusher cable, lock out the stope. The daylight from up there actually turns out to have been a pretty good size shaft. It was driven outside the ore body. I don't see any remnants of hoisting infrastructure, but that's not to say it wasn't there at one point. This right here is a pile of drill cuttings from older drifter or jackleg drill that didn't use water suppression or water dust suppression. So a lot of the mines here are grading 80% silica. So this would have been a pretty rapid onset of miner's consumption or silicosis. This whole drift is covered with it. That's the underground workings we just came out of. I'll pull in camper. We're currently standing in the 1940s vintage Carlisle open pit. Here's the Carlisle decline. MSHA records indicate this was driven or operated in the early 1990s. And it's supposed to be flooded to the same level as the other decline. Which I guess goes without saying unless there was a major discontinuity. So this decline was reportedly worked with rubber tire equipment. And here's the water line. Not gonna disturb that because of the smell of sulfur. I don't want to risk dissolve or having H2S come out of solution. This is looking up towards the workings of the Carlisle. Got a large number of foundations. It's probably where the steam power plant and the steam hoist were located. Got houses all up this gulch.